Well, welcome to Beans, Brews and Bread for the end of May. I think summer's finally arrived. We've got actual sunshine. We had a few downpours last week, but managed to get on the plot and get some weeding done and some prep for some of the stuff that we'd got planted at the house, and we've done the video for what's sowing and growing for May. So let's go and have a look at the plot tour for May. Let's go and have a look. Well, welcome to the plot tour for May. Managed to get down and get a few bits and bobs sorted. So things are starting to grow, but so are the weeds. We just can't keep on top of the bloody things. We'll go have a tour now. Got a few things planted in, but as soon as you plant something in, you've got to weed something else. But yeah, things are looking good for summer anyway. Plans are now pretty much out the window. So all the planting ideas that we had for spring are pretty much gone because we didn't have one. But we are, I think, pressing forward with summer now. I think we're fingers crossed. We get the strimmer down. Got a cordless strimmer. Going to give things a bit of a blitz, the edges, try and see the wood for the trees. Got plenty of things at home which we can bring up to the plot, get planted for summer crops now that the temperatures are better. We're past the last frost date. Let's get some tomatoes in, which you might just be able to see behind there. Just trying to keep on top of it, trying to get some things grown, some things sown. Harvest's probably a little bit of a way off yet. Might have some garlic, maybe some elephant garlic if we're not too unlucky, but fingers crossed. Let's go have a bit of a tour around and see how things are doing. As you might be able to see here, I've got the shallots in. This was the last of the 2 onion beds that we put in, and got a fair, few there, doing not too bad. All seems to be divided up, growing quite happily. Trying to keep on top of the weeds again. These are the red onions that we overwintered. But again, growth isn't massively strong, and these may have been checked as just been, hanging around at the house for too long. So they are bulbing up a little bit, as you see here already. Even for onion sets, the risk is that you might end up going bolting. So take those flower stalks off if you see them. But yeah, that's the main worry about this onion bed. Over here, the white onions seem to be doing a bit better than the red. These are bulbing up, not too bad. See there, trying to keep on top of the thistles and the mare's tail, but they are, fingers crossed, bulbing up nicely. The second allium bed, if you will. This was the overwintered autumn sown garlic. This was the only one that survived. We don't think we've got rust as yet. The leaves are starting to yellow, as you see from this one here. So I'm hopeful that we don't have any gone bolt, and they also seem to be avoiding the rust. Now, these were the multi-sown Spanish globe onions. They're at least living. Maybe bulbing up a little bit. See there, maybe? Just those ones. Bulbing up a little bit, maybe? And this was a spring sown garlic. Again, this will be later than the other one, because this one was spring sown, but again, doesn't seem to be suffering too badly. Coming along just about alright. And then the autumn sown elephant garlic is absolutely romping away. There's masses of it. This one's absolutely enormous. You have to forgive the weeds, but look at the size of that. Now I have, as with the red onions, removed the flower tips. As you'll see, these have come off, snapped them off, in the hope that they'll now divert their energy into producing the bulbs. Fingers crossed, we'll at least get some elephant garlic. Then we have the potato patch. This is a patch of rocket, and I think the Ulster Chieftain and the Charlotte secondarily. We had a bit of a failure in the middle. I think that was the cause of the late frost that we had. So we've got a bit of a weedy patch there in the middle, and some of them haven't really. There's one there, you might be able to see it. But this was the, I think, brassica bed last year, so it has been very weedy. I'm aiming really to just try and keep on top of the worst of them, and as they start to flower, get rid of them and give them a pull out. But they will obviously get a good digging over when we start harvesting the potatoes. So aim is to do a double whammy of weeding and harvesting at the same time. But again, not quite yet coming out into flower, although a few are over here. So that's definitely a potato flower and not a weed. So we'll purple flower on those. Might have a little dig up of one or two of the ones with the flowers and see if we've got any quick harvests that we might be able to get. But no, not too bad on the potato front. At least we've got potatoes in between the weeds. We've got the autumn sown and transplanted Aquadulture Claudia broad bean, and they've got loads of flowers on them. Loads of them. Now, I don't tend to suffer too badly from black fly with broad beans, but I will keep an eye out for them. I don't really want to pinch the tips out because we don't have a great deal. We've got a bit of a succession going because that was the first patch. Then here we had the second patch which we planted, so they'll follow on. So we should get a bit of a succession of broad beans. A bit sick of harvesting them and freezing them, to be honest. So a bit more of a fan of fresh broad beans if we can possibly get them. We have got some pods already. I'll just see them here. Now, there's some little ones there, quite a smallish pod. Give a little pinch, but very far off from being ready to harvest. But at least we've got some pods set, which is positive. Next to those, we've done about 4 or 5 rows of beetroot. And this is a good weed over. You might just be able to see we've got a little bit of germination there, quite a lot, quite sown thickly. So I will be thinning these. I'm going to have a few rows, I think, of slightly closer planted ones. There. Yeah, happy to have some. Oh, there we go, plenty of them there. Look, I'm not doing station sown this year. This patch, which was beetroot last year, didn't work very well with the clumps. There was just far too many. But fingers crossed, we'll get some here. And we'll get this next patch cleared, and we'll get a few more sown for winter keeping. And the next bed along, we've got some peas. Now these are Oregon sugar pod. I've got these set up in between metal posts here. You can see those going up. I've got some jute pea and bean netting which I bought, which we'll get on this weekend. As you can see, they are climbing up these old willow sticks that we had from the house, and there's a nice little bunch there going. So the other side not looking so healthy. I think I'm tempted to possibly take that other side out. Maybe some fresh ones sown so we can get over a succession. Down here, you might just be able to see a cucumber. He's not doing too bad on this side. He's got a little shoot still going. One on the other side. And hopefully we'll get some cucumbers trailing up these. Some of the peas are gone, and the cucumbers might get the benefit of the nitrogen from the peas. But thankfully the cucumbers have survived. Next to those, we've got the crimson sort of family variety So we've got a beefsteak, a plum, a salad, and a cherry. I have no idea which is which, but I have kept them in pairs, so they don't look very happy though. As you can see, they are looking a bit. I'm just hoping that's because the weather's been a little bit cooler. So they're not, I mean, they're not like dead, but equally they're not looking massively healthy. I mean, they are setting, you see they're just about setting some flowers. There's another one here. They're all cordon varieties, so keep them trained up these wigwams. But no, quite happy with that. That's a bit of an experiment. Yeah, there's the other little cucumber just down there. Now, the rest of that bed, I'm thinking maybe some carrots. Got the chard at the other end taken out, but that's all prepped now. These kickboards, these just sort of like basically fence panelling. Just actually keeping things a bit tidy. A bit. If you look down, it could be a slightly less weedy bed than the others. But compared to sort of having the hilled beds there, and these are looking a bit more tidy. So I might see if I can get a few more of those and do it that way. But the paths will need redoing again. It's a bit of a pain. Now, other projects at the house, we've got some sweet corn on the go. Got plenty of French beans. I think what we might do is this bed here, where the elephant garlic is come up, which was not planned, but must have been self-sown from last year, is we'll get them out soon, and I think we'll then get the beans in. We'll get the strimmer in, give these two a good strim. And I think this one will be the winter brassicas. I've got quite a few winter brassicas. We're going for a winter brassica system this year, not doing them over summer. They've just been sown. Fingers crossed we'll get some good germination on those and some planted out under cover. But this one next to it will be the beans, and we've got plenty of courgettes and squashes and all kinds of stuff, which we've got in the video from what's sowing in May. Tomatoes that we're doing at the house. We've got the beans on the go, and a few other bits and bats. Well, that's the tour for May. Not looking too bad at this half. Front half's looking in an absolute state, but you only can do what you can do. We should get some potatoes, some broad beans, some garlic, some onions if we're lucky. I'm hoping we might get some peas if these start bumping away. So fingers crossed. Well, thanks for watching today on Beans, Brews and Bread. Bit of a tour for the end of May. Obviously we're battling to try and get things in, so May's been a bit of a funny month. Didn't really have much spring, so we didn't really have anything really to be going on in the other tour for spring maintenance. I just wish we'd been able to maybe get on top of the weeds a little bit more, but all we really can do, that's the reality of it. I don't, pretend to show the warts and all, obviously with, trying to balance work life, plot, channel, do other hobbies, that kind of thing. So trying to keep on top of it at the same time as growing produce is a constant challenge, but you know what? The weeds always come back, so you're never going to get rid of them. So you might have to have a bit of a think about what level of weeds you're prepared to live with. So you can try and keep on top of them, get them before they flower, they seed, and create more problems down the line. I suppose if you get a hot enough compost bin, recompost. So you can always plant in between them as well, so you get a few harvests if you're lucky. That's May. Bit of a slightly more relaxed tour this month. Not loads going, but if we get a few things planted for next month, fingers crossed we'll have a few more things that we can show. Thanks for watching along today. If you like the video, great if you give it a thumbs up. If you get a chance, go and have a look at the what's sowing and growing for summer crops on the video from the other week. Some good ideas there, a few things that we're growing. Hopefully I'll put a card up So thanks for watching. If you've got any suggestions or tell us what you're growing in the minute, pop them down in the comments below. And if you haven't, I'm grateful if you press the subscribe button, the bell icon, to be notified the next time I've got a video out. Thanks for watching, and as ever, see you next time. Bye.